host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Shall we say. So the Giants obviously were trying to call. I mean, they tried. I mean, they tried last year with the Patriots, and the same thing. I don't blame the Patriots at all. I mean, they thought, that they could maybe pick up May, right? I mean, the Giants offered them whatever 3 first-rounders and maybe something else. I mean, maybe the Patriots might have considered doing something, but But same thing with the Titans. I mean, if the Titans really think, right, that Ward's the guy, you got to take him. I mean, you really got. I mean, unless you're totally blown out of the water by, somebody's trade offer. But if I'm them, I'm staying put. If you need a quarterback, if you think Ward's the quarterback of the future, you got to take him. Absolutely got to take him. But so the Giants did try. Now, I got a couple of reports here. The Giants' partial trade offer to the Titans for the number 1 pick is revealed. The Giants tried, but once again, they were rebuked in an attempt to move up in the draft. Giants said just can't seem to do it. And I don't even know. I mean, like last year, they didn't have a chance in HEL double hockey sticks and trade with the Commanders last season. I mean, you saw how things worked out for Daniels. I mean, could you imagine? How pissed off the Commanders would be if the Giants traded up and got Daniels? Could you imagine? That guy looks like he's going to be special talent. The only thing that pisses me off is that we got to play the dude 2 times for the next however many seasons. But you can see, I mean, that guy looks like a real special talent. It's unknown just how much General Manager Joe Schoen was willing to give up besides a third. And, of course, the team's 3rd overall pick this year for the right to move up, where the team presumably would have selected Miami Cam Ward. But clearly, as was the case last year when Shane tried to trade up with the Patriots only to be rebuked, the Titans are looking for a historic haul to pass on the ability to select Ward 1st overall. Once again, I don't blame them. Giants and Shane aren't quite in a position where they can mortgage future picks, including potential future first-round picks. Because one of the things, too, is that you always got to think, Shane's trying to do what's obviously best for the team, right? Now, so you got to think, and his job is possibly on the line. So you got 2 things here, right? Is he going to do what's best for the team this year and going forward if he's not here? Or if he's trying to do the best for the Joe Schoen Giants, right? And if he was to just mortgage a whole bunch of first-round draft picks for a quarterback, right? Don't know how that well would work out. So it's always a little tricky there with him. Is he trying to do what's best, obviously, for him, the Giants, especially for him to save his job, or is he, if he's like, well, if I get fired at the end of the season, I want to make sure I get a nice, good draft for the next guys coming in here, moving forward. I want to leave the team in a better position than when I took over, right? So that's always something to keep in mind. That said, there continue to be reports of the Giants, who are at number 3, are thought to be planning on selecting whichever Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter is on the board. They want to trade back into the bottom of the 1st round with an eye on getting past Pittsburgh, which is also in need of a quarterback. I think Pittsburgh is like 20th, I think it is. However, as previously reported, the Giants potentially face an uphill battle to accomplish even that. The Browns, who have draft capital similar to the Giants and need a quarterback, could spark a bidding war to move up to number 20. Okay, so the Steelers, I guess, are number 21. So the Giants and whoever it is to move up in front of the Steelers would have to go from Giants got the 34th pick, and the Browns got the pick 33. So whatever it would take to jump up to number 20, maybe get in front of the Steelers. Of course, the question remains how much Schoen would be willing to give up to get back into the bottom of the first round, assuming the team has any first round grades on the quarterbacks that will remain after Ward is off the board. And Giants trying to trade up into round one for a quarterback. Let's say the expected happens with the first two picks Thursday. Cam Ward to the Titans and wide receiver Travis Hunter to the Browns. That would leave the Giants choosing between edge rusher Abdul Carter and Sanders at number 3. And if they're going with the best player available route, Carter will be the choice. So the Giants absolutely could trade up from number 34, the second round pick, to get a quarterback later in round 1. The Saints at number 9 could be landing spot for Sanders. Well, let's not forget, the history, it's got nothing to do with what they're doing now. But, the Saints, unbelievable as this is, have not drafted a quarterback in the first round since Archie Manning, a.k.a. Peyton Manning, a.k.a. Eli Manning, right? Archie Manning, right, since in 1971. So we're going over 50 years ago since the last time the Saints drafted a quarterback in the first round. Ditto for the Steelers at number 21. Don't rule out the Rams taking a quarterback at 26 either. Be perfect if they think whatever. If they think Milrose or Dart, draft him, let him sit a year or two behind Stafford. Right? And remember, the Browns have the first pick in the second round, one spot ahead of the Giants. So there's a good chance no matter what. There's a real good chance the Giants, if they really want a quarterback, are going to have to do something about maybe jumping in front of the Browns. Possibly. Other than Ward and Sanders, the quarterbacks who could go in round 1 or earlier in round 2 are Tyler Shaw, Jalen Milroe, and Jackson Dart. Bottom line, the Giants can't bank on getting their guy at number 34. There's a lot of teams in front of them, especially the one team right in front of them, the Browns. But what would be interesting, though, very, very interesting, right? Now, there ain't much love between Philadelphia and the Eagles, right? I don't know. Like if Shane picked the phone up and you jump in front of the Browns, right, would be number 32, which would be the Eagles. But Howie Roseman picked the phone up and agreed to a deal with the Giants to get a quarterback. Somebody might come in and kick the Eagles' butt for quite a few years. That would be interesting. Now the Eagles obviously and the Cowboys made a trade that would cause the Andrew Toney debacle, right? A few years ago when they got Devontae Smith, but the Eagles jumped over the Giants and traded with the Cowboys, but that wasn't for a quarterback. That was for a wide receiver. That was a very good move on the Eagles' part, without question. But that was a wide receiver. This is a quarterback. That would be interesting. Very, very interesting. But now all you got to do is, if the Eagles are coming up, and the nice thing about that, or you might have to maybe pick up the phone and talk to Andy Reid or the Chiefs. Right, because another conference, right? They might have a little more love for the Giants, right? Because if you can jump back into the first round, right, you have the guy for 5 years, if he makes it that far, right? 5 years, a quarterback for 5 years, right? That's ideal. So yes, they are already angling for a possible trade-up move into the bottom of round 1. Sources say the Browns and the Giants, who own the first 2 picks of the second round, are in trade talks with teams at the back end of the first round. Because obviously, you're not going to be a rocket scientist to figure it out, right? You gotta have all your conversations down and all of that. You can't be, you can't get to the end of the first round. The Chiefs are on the board and it's like, oh my God, let me start making some phone calls. No, obviously you got to have all this stuff down. All these scenarios down and everything, right? So If either team trades up, the expectation is that would be to select a quarterback. So once again, with the Eagles, if the Giants, would call the Eagles, would Howie Roseman would say, yeah, we'll trade with you. So you can jump, and the Browns trade with us, we'll flip-flop with it, and you can draft yourself a quarterback of the future. I don't know if the Eagles would do that. This sort of move would make perfect, reasonable sense. Giants indeed pass on Sanders at number 3. Joe Schoen, the Giants' hot seat fourth-year general manager, would be foolish not to explore it. A spot to watch for a trade-up move is number 20 with Denver. They don't need a quarterback, right? One position ahead of the Steelers. The Broncos picked their franchise quarterback, Bo Nix, last year. See how well it worked out. I mean, it is amazing. I mean, this is where you really want to just start kicking yourself. I mean, obviously hindsight's always 20/20. Why didn't you pick that guy? Why didn't you pick? It's always hindsight. It's always 20/20, right? But it is amazing. I mean, some of these quarterbacks really. I mean, we didn't see JJ, right, with Minnesota, but these quarterbacks looked pretty good last year, didn't they? The Giants need to draft that quarterback, and they're going to get Sanders. You got to pick a Sanders at number 3. Sanders at 3. Well, we're going to find out, brother. We're going to find out. But I mean, they talked about last year being a good quarterback class, and I'll tell you what, they weren't BSing. And some of these guys really look good. Really look good last year. It's possible Sanders will be gone by then. Meaning they're talking about his article, him getting up to where the Steelers are at. I don't know if he gets that far. So quite possibly, maybe the Saints might take Sanders at number 9. But Shaw, Milroe, and Dart could all be available at number 20. Still, with the Browns also exploring a trade-up deal after presumably grabbing Hunter at number 2, the Giants will have competition. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's good. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. To see, who trades up, right? Because if you look at the NFL draft chart, each position, each pick has a numeric value next to it. The Giants really could trade up. They get pick number 30, their second round pick number 34, and pick number 65, which is the first pick in the third round. They could couple those 2 picks up and move up darn near almost according to the draft chart, right? The grading, right? They might have to throw maybe a little something else in, maybe a later round pick or But as far as, they could probably move up almost to number 20, according to the chart. I did a video on this a couple weeks ago, but by giving up pick number 34 and 65, right? So they could move up pretty far into the first round, back into the first round with those 2 picks, and they would still have a third round selection, right? They move up, maybe get Carter, they can get their quarterback of the future, and they would still have a third round pick and a fourth round pick, and a 5th round pick, and then 2 7th round picks. So they can get Carter and a quarterback in the future. I really dig it. The Giants don't draft the quarterback, then the Giants want to lose that one. Well, they got to do something. They certainly got to do something. It's going to be very interesting to see. Very interesting to see. It is very important to give us, we, future, hope for the future, right? I mean, because after this is over with, if we're all just sitting here after the draft's over, and it's like, we didn't draft the quarterback. What are we doing? What's going on with that quarterback for the future? We got Wilson this year. We got Winston this year, next year. And I mean, it's like, it's like when we got Eli, when you draft a quarterback, really high, that's your spark, your excitement. We stunk last year, we stunk 2 years ago, but we got Sanders. Let's see what we got, right? I mean, you got to get some excitement going there, right? So, I mean, if and when they take a quarterback, it's gonna be very, very interesting to see what they do. Very, very interesting. It's gonna very, very, first couple rounds gonna be very, very interesting. It'll be a very exciting draft, and also I'm very excited, hoping Shane can hit it out of the park once again, like he did last season, because he really did a good job at drafting last year. Because once again, if he could do the same thing, man, that would be awesome.